So the topic for this podcast is microaggressions. I mentioned that story right up in the front of the podcast about, going into the agency with my hair, in braids. Now this is a style I had worn for almost a decade. These braids were so connected to my identity, and no one had ever said anything to me about my hair like that before. So it was a clear rejection of who I was from someone who obviously judged me according to her standard of professionalism. So I had to do a little research on this. And so Daryl Wing Sue is a Columbia University teacher professor, and she calls that particular microaggression a micro insult. And in fact, I've learned that there are many different categories of microaggressions that I may be experiencing unknowingly. So microaggressions are defined as a statement, action, or incident regarded as an instance of indirect, subtle, or unintentional discrimination against members of a marginalized group, such as a racial or ethnic minority. That's the book definition.
But how do you define for yourself the term microaggressions? Like, how do you see it?
Well, just in layman's terms, when I think about a microaggression, I just think about those times when people say things to me that are like underhanded, and they might not realize it. Oh, like, oh my gosh, you speak so well. And they don't have to finish that off with, for a black girl. They don't have to say that.
Yeah, they don't need to say that part, right?
They don't have to say that part at all. Oh, your hair, like my daughter walking in the store and they'll say something about her hair. And, her hair is this is so different. It's so unique.
But you know what? Your daughters have exquisitely beautiful hair. I mean, seriously, yeah. Just full, beautiful. They're so gorgeous.
But but it's like when you, and thank you for that. It's like when you see it, though, when someone says it, and it just seems out of pocket. Like,
it's the tone, though, too. Like, you can feel... You can feel someone's intentions, and it doesn't come from a place of, like, admiration. You can feel if it does or if it doesn't.
Right.
You can feel where it's coming from. And the intention behind what's called microaggressions is what's harmful, I think.
Oh, definitely.
To us
yes.
On a daily basis.
Definitely.
Just for me, it's like... I don't know, it's just so many. At a certain point, when do they become macro? Because there's so many.
Exactly.
There's so many. I mean, just in reading a history book, in trying to choose a book for your child.
Right.
In trying to choose movies to watch with your family.
Right.
That include positive images of us.
Right.
They're so few and far between. Just because it's made by, for, and about somebody that looks like us, they might have internalized the microaggressions to the point where they're promoting the ignorance and the,
you just don't even realize it. So I have some examples, like when people ask you, like, where were you born? Oh, you speak English very well, or you're a credit to your race, right? That's not. You might think, oh, that sounds like a good thing, but what are you saying really with that? Like, or when people say
their expectations are that our race doesn't act as decent, or whatever they're seeing that's quote unquote good in you.
Right.
And it's not a compliment, because that means that your expectation is very, 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 very low.
Right.
For somebody with my skin color or my hair texture or my heritage.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then people who say they don't see color, it's like that is like one of the worst things to...
I had that recently at work.
Oh.
I had that recently, and it was funny because this is a person that I talk to frequently, and we have very intellectual conversations. And when he said, I don't see color, and I returned with, but then if you don't see color, then you don't really see me.
Right.